You're watching ChillyBoy Productions. I'm Larry ChillyBoy Chilson, and this is my review for The Smashing Machine. Now, before we get into this review, make sure to go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so that you can chill with me on each and every one of my latest videos. The Smashing Machine is a 2025 sports drama directed by Benny Safdie. The film follows MMA fighter Mike Kerr as he reaches the peak of his fighting career, but the newfound success comes in the face of personal hardship. The film stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Emily Blunt, and Ryan Bader. So I was able to check out The Smashing Machine at the 2025 Toronto International Film Festival, and I knew I wanted to see this one because I've been very intrigued ever since that first trailer dropped. I wanted to see The Rock in this role. I thought the film looked really good, pairing The Rock up with a Safdie brother. Yeah, let's check it out and see what they have to offer. And ultimately, I enjoyed The Smashing Machine, but I wasn't knocked out by it. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, let's talk about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. His acting career has oftentimes been very slighted. According to his own words, even, he has certainly been pigeonholed into a very specific role, which highly mirrors who he is in his everyday life. And I have to commend him for taking this role and delivering with this role. Now, once again, he is a wrestler that is playing a wrestler, but I think he does a lot with this character to transform him. Yes, we have that very dramatic brow prosthetic, but I'll say that prosthetic disappeared, and I think The Rock disappears into this role. I was just watching Mark Kerr, the MMA fighter, on the screen, not Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So big kudos to him. Now, I don't know if I'd say it's Academy Award nomination worthy, certainly not award winning worthy for me. We'll see how the rest of the competition kind of sorts out, but I still think this is easily probably his best performance to date. But I also think Emily Blunt kills it. One, with her American accent, I think it sounded good for the most part. But two, just with this character, a slightly underwritten character by and large, but I think she does a lot of the heavy lifting to bring this woman to life. And Ryan Bader, the actor that plays Mark Coleman, fantastic. Honestly, he's kind of a scene stealer in this film. Every time he is on the screen, I wanted to know more about him. I wanted to kind of follow his story a bit more because I was so endeared to the character and the actor by and large. I also appreciated that the film certainly does not follow the typical biopic sports drama formula. We take different routes, and actually, I would argue this is not even really a sports movie. That's very much in the background to the more personal dramas of these characters, which actually we'll talk about again here in the negatives. But I appreciated the very different tone and approach that Benny Safdie took to telling this man's story. And I think there was a lot of respect into telling his story and shining the light on him as a figure. And while all of that's happening, they still craft the story around Kerr and make you root for him and want to see him get his redemption and get his hero sports story without falling into the pitfalls of cliches within the genre. So then, what doesn't work so well when it comes to The Smashing Machine? Well, we'll just kick off with the two things I mentioned in my positives. One, Emily Blunt's character, and two, the personal dramas, because they kind of both go together. Unfortunately, Blunt's character is just very underwritten. We're told a lot about her rather than seeing a lot about her. Honestly, all of the drama is told to us rather than shown to us. If you know anything about Kerr, you'll know there's some substance abuse that takes place, but this film doesn't take the time to show us the consequences of that, doesn't show us that really in action to make the fallout, to make what happens in his career and in his life hit emotionally like it should. Instead, we're just kind of like told, told, told. Same thing with Emily Blunt's character. A lot of things happen. We see on screen some of the behavior, but then we're kind of just told, told, told about what she's doing instead of seeing it. And then thus these two seeing the effect of their actions upon each other. So when the fallouts and the big dramas happen, it almost feels unearned. And on a film that heavily focuses on Kerr and his personal struggles, more so, I'd say, than his in-ring behaviors, triumphs, and struggles, we needed a lot more development and time on those personal struggles to make the entire film fully reach its impact. And in saying that, I also think, the boxing MMA fights were okay. We've seen so many great boxing movies specifically over the past decade or so that have delivered with those in-ring fights. That getting these octagon fights that are kind of underwhelming is a bit of a bummer. And then that sound mixing. It's a Safdie Brothers staple at this point, but it's not for me. Really just blaring that music, oftentimes over the top of dialogue. Just cut the dialogue out. I mean, just if we're not meant to hear it, why are they screaming it in the scene while we're listening to you blast music over the top and slam us on the head with it? I just was not a fan of this sound mix, and that is oftentimes the case with Safdie Brothers project. But overall, I enjoyed the Smashing Machine. I just didn't quite love it like I was hoping to. I think there are good, solid, even very strong performances all around in this film. There are some great aspects to the way they told this story. Unfortunately, this thing only comes in just over 2 hours, really. And I think we needed an extra 20 minutes to flesh out these personal issues, showcase them on screen, and then we'd be talking about an actually great film. But as it stands, I think The Smashing Machine is a good, solid flick. And if you've been intrigued by those trailers, if you're into MMA, if you like these boxing movies, if you like a good sports movie, I think you should definitely check it out on a big screen once it hits theaters October 3rd. So that was my review for The Smashing Machine. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click that like button down below and subscribe to the channel so that you are always up to date on all of my latest videos, including each and every one of my reviews from TIFF. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see The Smashing Machine? Let me know all of your thoughts either in that comment section down below, or you can hit me up over on Twitter and Blue Sky. I love you all so much for your continued support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.